Welcome to Medicine, Motherhood, and Missions, the podcast where we dive deep into impactful and inspiring conversations with amazing professionals who've turned their challenges into stepping stones for success. I'm Johanna, your host, and each time we meet, we'll explore the stories and journeys of remarkable individuals who are PAs, doctors, professionals, mothers, and mission-driven changemakers, from the halls of the hospitals to the hearts of our homes, and into the communities we serve. Join us as we uncover the challenges, triumphs, and everything in between, and see life through each other's perspective. If you're seeking fulfillment in your career and life, I've got something special for you too. Download our free guide on how to be a fulfilled provider. It's packed with tips and insights to help you thrive while balancing the many hats you wear. And for all those parents out there dreaming big while raising little ones, check out Little Evie's Big Dreams children's book series, available now on Amazon. These heartwarming stories inspire kids to chase their own dreams, just like you're chasing yours. So grab your favorite cup of coffee or tea, settle in, and get ready for uplifting conversations that will leave you inspired and equipped to make a greater impact. Let's jump in. Hello, friends. So today we have Rachael Dean. She is a mother of 4 not so little children, and she is passionate about teaching and equipping the next generation of business owners. She is a manager for the children's entrepreneurial market. I'm so excited to hear more about this wonderful program that Rachael is doing. Rachael, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. I'm so grateful for your time and coming on the show.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for having me. It's a really fun opportunity.
Yeah. So Rachael, I met her at church, and then she's started posting about these children entrepreneur markets. And I was like, Rachael, you've got to come on the show and tell me a little bit about this, because this is so interesting. And I think it's something that parents and mothers out there would love to learn about: entrepreneurship, how to, instill some of these values in their kids. So tell us about yourself and kind of like how you got into all of this.
Okay, awesome. Well, as you mentioned, I am a mom. I have 4 not so young kids anymore, which has taken some time to get used to. I'm still not totally, because I'm a young mom in my head, but I don't have young kids anymore. So, but we do have 4. Our oldest is 19, and then we have a 17-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 10-year-old. We do homeschool. We've homeschooled. We're on our 13th year of homeschooling. We graduated our oldest last year. We homeschooled her all the way through, and it's been a fun, wild journey, and super passionate about it and love it. It's a gift to our family. And that's pretty much takes up most of my time. I did join a weightlifting class this winter, which has been kind of fun and different for me.
Wow.
It's been fun. It's been just something different to do and a different challenge, especially as a mom. Most of my time is my kids these days. So it's nice to just have something that's just for me.
Yeah. Weightlifting. So have you seen such a huge difference in what you were lifting when you first started to now, or?
I have, I more so, so we keep a sheet of, our what we're lifting, and I can steadily see an increase, as the month goes on from the different exercises we're doing, but more so I just feel stronger. My body I just feel stronger, and I just feel a lot more secure. Oh, it's been a really neat addition to my life, and I love it.
Yeah. And I think, anyways, for women, it's so important to have weightlifting and those types of strength training exercises for prevention of osteoporosis and all those things. Those things come to my mind. I'm like, because, sometimes, now people are weightlifting more and more strength training, especially among women. But it used to be just cardio all the time. Instead.
You're right. Yes.
Yeah. So that's cool. The trend is shifting.
Yeah, it's been neat.
So,
I was kind of intimidated by it just
uh,
because it looked scary. I don't know. It just looked scary. All the machines but it's been neat, and it's been neat to do it in a group environment. So
yeah, yeah, that really helps with the continuity when you're in a group.
yeah, yeah, it has. It's been
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So tell us about like how did you end up in the children's entrepreneur market space and in
Yeah.
this particular organization?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So Children's Entrepreneur Market is a mouthful. So we abbreviate it to CEM. So I'll
Okay.
just refer it to as CEM just to
Yeah.
save some of our mouth space. But I started getting interested in children's entrepreneurship a couple of years ago because I was looking for some opportunities for my kids. It's something I wanted to instill in our children.
Yeah.
And, I think as parents, we're always battling the digital age that we're
Mm-hmm.
in, where
Uh-huh.
I'm battling screens all the time.
Right.
And I see that this generation is just lost so much of
Mm-hmm.
that just entrepreneurial. I mean, that's what our country was founded
Mm-hmm.
on.
Yeah.
And you just don't see it in the kids as
Yeah.
much anymore. So I started looking for some resources. I also was looking for a homeschool group. I thought it'd be really neat to teach a class on it, and I just
Mm-hmm.
couldn't find anything. There just isn't
Yeah.
things for children in that
Mm-hmm.
area. Very limited programs. So
Mm-hmm.
what I ended up doing is I just developed something for my class in co-op, and it was
Mm-hmm.
great. I taught one semester, and the kids loved it so much they asked me to teach it again, and it was so fun. Uh,
Uh-huh.
but it kind of ended there. What
Uh-huh.
do you do after that? So that's been kind of rolling in my mind for the past couple years, and
Uh-huh.
I ended up just through some homeschool circles found out about the children's entrepreneur market, had never heard about it before, and they were hiring.
Oh wow.
And I was looking at the job description, and I was like, wow, I mean, that's me. I want to do all of those things. So I interviewed for the position, and thankfully I got it. And it
Uh-huh.
is the best job. I love it. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's I'm really, really excited about it, if you can't tell.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I can tell you're so excited about it.
Yeah.
And so how did this kind of start and like what is it all about, like this particular thing?
Yeah. Yeah. So we actually started in 2017 in Utah.
Okay.
They ran successfully in Utah, started winning all these awards, and just people loved it and wanted more of it. Parents
Yeah.
are really wanting these things for their kids. And they
Mm-hmm.
said, hey, let's start expanding. So they have
Yeah.
been aggressively expanding. And actually, uh, I'd have to go back and look at our statistics, but the last time I looked, we were in 24 states, and
Okay.
our goal is to be in all 50 states by the end of 2026. So
Yeah.
we are rapidly growing, and I actually did pull some more statistics that I just think are really fun.
Uh-huh.
Let me pull up my notes here. Ending last year, we were in
Uh-huh.
225 cities. We
Uh-huh.
hosted 408 markets, which meant 21,505 booths, and we helped 43,844 kids become entrepreneurs.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's so exciting.
Wow, just since 2017. That's a huge
Yeah,
accomplishment.
it
That's
it, it
awesome.
really is. It's so needed, and as a
Hmm.
parent, like I said, these are things I wanted for my kids.
Yeah.
So it's exciting to get to be a part of.
Yeah. It's so funny because I remember growing up, um, uh, and we were like in California and Louisiana, and I don't know whether kids do this anymore, but like we were outside a lot. We didn't have any technology, those days. It was like just
Yeah,
outside and with friends. And so we would like, now they have like those bracelet making packages that you
yeah,
can buy for kids, but we didn't have those. I don't know how we got the threads and the strings and things. I can't even remember, but we would like make those and sit outside with our friends making them and then sell it for like 50 cents to like all the kids around, you know? And we would like do things like that, or like, you know, I don't know, we would make up so many silly things and,
I love it.
try to sell. But yeah, that's the kind of, skills or the creativity, right? That we want to like kind of have our kids participate in. And it is so hard these days because I even look down my own neighborhood street and there's hardly any kids outside playing.
Yeah.
Everyone's always inside, right?
Yeah.
It's so difficult to find children outside playing. Like we'll walk down the street and hope to find kids, and it's just hard because I have a little daughter, you know, I'm trying to find, you know, playmates for my kids.
Yeah, absolutely. We are living in different times. And, you know, I remember that too. I remember setting up a lemonade stand and, you know, waving down cars and trying to get them to come buy some lemonade. And, so it really is. But, you know, I think a lot of that is safety too, where we don't know who's out there. And so,
times
it is a different age.
For sure.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
It is.
But and so these are kind of like really neat, actual, you know, practical, tangible ways kids can get involved in these types of entrepreneurial skill development through these markets. So how do these markets work?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So my job is I go and I will work with our partnerships through this different cities and events. And I'll say, hey, can my kids come set up some booths at your event? And usually I get an overwhelming absolutely. So parents just go on and they register their kids for a booth. And, you know, from that point on, we just kind of ask the parents, hey, this is the kids' show now. We ask the kids, you develop a product. You decide, hey, you know, go and see what kind of event it is. Is this a spring event? What might sell at a spring event? What are some things that are really trendy right now that you can sell? Really anything their little minds can come up with. And then, you know, at the event, we ask the parents, yes, please be there because we need you there just, you know, for parental guidance. But for the most part, man, we just want these kids to take ownership of this and shine. It really is their thing.
Okay. So do they get any like guidance specifically, or just, you know, free for all, whatever they want to try and sell or create, or is it individual kids or through groups or schools? Like,
so it can be all of the above. As far as guidance, we do have resources on our website that can really help, be great tools to help them guide through just the process of owning a business, you know, starting from product development and then thinking about, okay, how much is this going to cost? Where am I going to get this money to do this? If I borrow this money from my parents, how am I going to plan to pay that back? And then they're starting to think about, okay, what's the name of my business? How am I going to market this business? And then they're looking at, okay, now how am I going to sell this product at the business? How am I going to work on a pitch so that this sounds really great and I can go? And then also looking at the price point. You know, what that would be, you know, okay, if I sell this for $5, I can make this much money, or, you know, all of those things that just all goes into it. So we do have some resources on our website to kind of help them walk through that process. We also give any kids that participate get a free curriculum that their parents can go through it with them. It's a fantastic tool. It goes very in depth into entrepreneurship. That's there as an option. We do have schools, you know, that have said, hey, we want to do this in our school. And that's phenomenal. So we do have some schools that do teach entrepreneurship, and then they get to bring their students to our market and they get to carry out what they've learned. So really the opportunities are endless. I mean, it can be done so many ways.
Yeah. And I mean, because I was looking through, your websites and posts and things of what the
Hmm.
children's entrepreneur market does, and
Yeah.
I love how it has little things that are we're solving real world problems, and
Yeah.
don't worry about failure. You only have to be right once, and a
Yes.
person, these quotes from,
Hmm.
famous people, right? A person who never makes a mistake has never tried anything,
Yeah.
things like that. And so you're teaching these kids very important life lessons, right?
Hmm.
About not just the creativity and problem solving nature of business of it as it is, but you're actually teaching them on how it is if you fail or make a
Yeah.
mistake, because if you don't sell anything, or if you're not selling the right thing or the product, so many things you can learn, right, just from
Hmm.
this particular
Hmm.
opportunity.
Yes,
So that's
absolutely. I
pretty
mean,
amazing.
if you just think about how if my 10-year-old goes to the market and he decides, for instance, I think he's probably going to sell for the first market
Mhm.
bird feeders. So if he takes
Oh,
his
okay.
bird feeders and he goes and takes them to the market and sells really well, then he's
Uh-huh.
learned, okay, I've done something really great here. But what if he takes it to the market and he doesn't sell as well?
Yeah.
Right? So then he
Hmm.
gets the opportunity. Was it the product? Do I need to
Hmm.
tweak my product? Was it the price point? This is
Uh-huh.
all process of elimination. And I mean, they're
Right.
working through critical things. There's so many things
Yeah.
they can learn from it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it kind of brings up how do we as parents teach our own kids about entrepreneurship?
Hmm.
Sometimes we focus maybe more on other topics or other curriculum, but entrepreneurship, sometimes is something a really interesting and critical skill set that enables us to kind of learn about a lot of things as we just discussed, right? So
Yeah.
how do we as parents teach our kids about this, and how do you teach your kids or incorporate it? Uh,
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite stories, if you don't mind me
mhm.
telling a little story real quick,
Yeah.
is I had gone to Utah. We all trained together when we are hired on, so we can go see the markets and really
Hmm.
see hands on what we're going to be doing. And I went to one of the booths. She's an elementary age girl, and she had made some really neat crocheted items, and they're just beautiful.
Hmm.
But what struck me most was her presence. She was so confident, and
Hmm.
she was so proud of what she had made. I mean, it was obvious.
Yeah.
And I just loved talking to her. But her mom was sitting behind her in her booth. And I said, "Now, what is this experience like for you?" And her
Hmm.
mom happened to be a child counselor. And she said, when my daughter started this, she wasn't confident. She was very shy, and she just didn't have what she has now. She was very much in her shell, and she said, "This is better than counseling."
Yeah.
Truly, I mean, just getting out and getting this experience. So I use that story to just say, as parents, I think one of the best things we can do when teaching our kids entrepreneurship is, like you said, let them try new things and let them fail,
Hmm.
um, and just be a safety net and help them, walk through that process
Yeah.
of okay, now what do we need to do to fix? How do we make this better next time? Um, me as a parent, I don't want my kids to hurt. I don't want them to struggle. I don't want to get them to
Yeah.
go through anything hard. But I also know that's part of growing
Hmm.
adults. And I
Yeah.
want really good, strong adults one
Hmm.
day. So,
Exactly.
and I feel like those are the tools necessary in order for them to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. How many, or what are other examples of what kids sell and how they are participating? Any other stories that you can share, like what you just did? Because that's so profound on how um the confidence of that little girl.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of bravery to go out there and try and sell something and ask
Hmm.
people for money to sell your little
Yeah.
handmade product, or, something that you're selling.
Yeah.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
What these kids are doing, right, at such
Mm-hmm.
young ages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really, we try not to limit their creativity as much as
Mm-hmm.
possible. So we pretty much let them sell anything.
Mm-hmm.
We see a lot of jewelry. We see a
Mm-hmm.
lot of crafts. One family that I had spoken to, they made their own game. They developed their own game as a family, and they
Oh,
sold
that's
that
fun.
game. Yeah, it was really
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
Another family, they were
Uh-huh.
actually known because everyone loved what they did. They sold tacos, but it was so neat because
Uh-huh.
it was their family recipe, and
Okay.
their parents taught these kids how to make their family tacos, and then
Oh,
they go
wow.
and they sell these tacos that is their heritage. That's
Oh,
part
that's
of
so
who they
cool.
are. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so it's just so cool to get to see what the kids come up with.
Yeah.
I mean, really, the possibilities are endless. Lots of crocheted things. I've seen kiddos
Mm-hmm.
do face painting. Um, I've seen kiddos even bring an instrument and I'll play with for you for, whatever X amount of dollars.
Oh, sweet.
Characters. I've seen kiddos do characters. I
Yeah.
mean, the possibilities are endless. It really is
Yeah.
just so neat what the kids come up with.
Yeah. Kind of letting their imagination just go and
Yeah.
allowing them to have that creative will to do whatever they want to and feel is going to make an impact, right? I think I
Yeah.
love that, because that's just really what we should do for our kids sometimes, is allow them to imagine and just
Mm.
be creative, right? Just, I think that's why they say boredom is the best thing for a child, right? Because
Yeah.
it forces them to imagine
Yeah.
and get creative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, that's amazing. So it's kind of like no high pressure for the kids too, because they can like
Right.
come up with something that they feel is uh, doable for them to
Mm-hmm.
sell. So
Mm-hmm.
how, going back to like, parenting in a way, but like,
Mm-hmm.
because this is also kind of a way to teach kids to steward resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do
Yeah.
we encourage our own kids, in stewarding resources?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is such a great question. And, my first thought when I think of stewarding is
Mhm.
what we do with our money. I always think about tithing in church, but stewarding
Mhm.
is so much more. It's where we have limited resources of everything we have, right? We have limited
Uh-huh.
resources of money. We have limited resources of time. We have
Mhm.
limited resources with our bodies.
Yeah.
And I think kids today don't understand that.
Mhm.
I look back at my young 16-year-old self and I was invincible. I would never be 40 plus. I'm not going to tell you how many years with teenagers. It would never happen. And now here I am having to go to do things to help make my body better.
Mhm.
So I just think opportunities like CEM just help our kids to just understand, especially let's say they choose a product to make a product, they have $50 budget.
Mhm.
Okay, what can I make with $50? That money's
Mhm.
gone when it's gone. So how
Yeah.
I got to be wise with that. And
Mhm.
then once I make money on that product, what am I going to do
Mhm.
with that money? Where's
Yeah.
that going to go? Am I going to go blow it on the next video game, or am I going to save it? Am I going to tithe some? Am
Mhm.
I going to invest more into my business? There's some
Mhm.
great stewardship lessons we can learn with our finances, and I feel
Yeah.
like stewardship in general
Mhm.
is the heart of effective entrepreneurship. You
Yeah.
know, and we know as parents that if we're teaching our children these lessons when they're young,
Mhm.
um, they're more likely to develop these habits as adults.
Yeah.
So I really think that that's a great benefit. And then also I
Mhm.
thinking about our stewardship of our time, you know? So if I were to sign my child up for CEM, and we have our first market on March 23rd, so he knows he has till March 23rd to decide what he wants to make, do all the steps he needs to do for his business to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So he could choose to prepare this next month, and he could choose to use his time wisely. Or he could choose to wait till last minute, and he could choose to be rushed and stressed, all of these things. He has a time limit here. He has a time. And, if he but he could also even go the extreme of spending so much time on his business that then now his schoolwork is struggling. So then he has unhappy parents or teachers. So I think opportunities like this, having a time constraint and goals and expectations, I feel like are very important for our children to have exposure to, and then I also, kind of going back to the money, I think about the old money doesn't go on trees, that I know my kids probably don't know that phrase, but I grew up hearing. And if my child decided to make cupcakes, and they were really yummy cupcakes, so they knew that they would be so great to share, but while they were waiting for customers, they choose to eat half of those cupcakes. Well, now they're experiencing a reduced income because they just ate their profits. So those are like, kind of silly, but real life lessons, that are things later on we know as adults. If I don't put money in my savings account, my car breaks down. That's a bigger issue than my cupcakes as a kid.
Exactly. It's really important, to be able to help teach our kids like these types of lessons. But sometimes we want to, because they're like kids. So of course, they may be the one, needing help, but, where we have to kind of learn to let them try on their own, right? It's hard for us as parents sometimes to not just get in there and get it done. Like, okay, I can do it in 5 minutes instead of like it taking them 5 hours,
Sure.
Right?
I get it. Yes.
And so like, it's, we also have to learn to let go, right?
Yeah. And that's not easy.
Let them run. It's not easy because we want to, especially like, I have a 5-year-old, so it's like, letting go is good for her, but it's going to be messy.
I know.
At this stage,
Right. It's so funny. I actually learned this lesson. It's kind of an embarrassing story, but I'll tell it anyway. So my oldest, I had told you we had just graduated her. And when she was young, homeschooling, I did everything on our curriculum. I mean, I was very much to the books, except when it came to crafts. When it was craft time, we didn't do a lot of the crafts at home because they were so messy. And I did not care for the crafts. So we were at the library one day, and we have a great partnership with our library. We love them. We do a lot of fun stuff with them. But anyway, we're at the library one day, and Taylor was talking to the librarian, and she said, "Yeah, my mom, she doesn't let us do any crafts at home because they're too messy." And it's like, oh, okay, all right. So I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do better with the next couple kids we have. I guess we learn.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, my daughter loves crafting, and so it's fun. Yeah,
it is.
It's fun.
Those things are good. And, I also think as parents too, we're just so busy that it's hard for us to find the time and energy sometimes to invest in things like teaching our kids stewardship. And, we know those are so important. And, I think about, I just at the phase of life we are with our kids, I have been kind of forced into doing a lot of reflecting,
Yeah.
which I think is normal at the phase when you start to have a kiddo graduate high school.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
I all through their growing up, I still have it on my kitchen wall. I have this poster. Well, it's a framed art thing, and it says the most important work you will ever do will be the work you do within the walls of your home.
Right.
And I try as a parent. I try very hard to, that's right. I'm not going to get these years back. And man, I'm not going to do it perfect. I'm going to mess up a lot and I have to apologize a lot, but I really want these years to matter. And I really want my kids to learn the things that I feel like are important for it to learn. They're not going to get it perfect and I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, but man, the things that really matter, I really want them to know that I gave it my all. So,
and I think that's all we can do. Cause I mean, sometimes we can put so much pressure on ourselves too, right? To do things so perfectly, to be getting our kids into everything and anything and just be like, we have to do this, we have to do that. What are we missing? But then that creates more stress, I think, for the kids too, because then, and stress on us, because we're just trying too hard to do everything and we can't do everything perfectly, as you said. And we're going to learn along the way. We're going to make mistakes. Life is not going to be always pretty and perfect, but as long as we try. And I think that comes to maybe our next point, since, we both have a similar faith, and how our faith impacts the way we raise our children. How does that impact the way you've raised and reflected, now recently on that?
Yeah, I didn't grow up in the same environment my kids are grown up in, which I'm so thankful for. I'm so thankful that we get to have a new generation, and I'm so thankful for that. But there's a lot of things that I just, with my kids growing up, I really, Paul and I worked hard to center our home around faith. And we had a phenomenal, really, really great legacy with his father who lived with us for 13 years. And it was a gift because he was such a man of faith. You just saw him and you knew Jesus was with him. And it was such a wonderful gift to have him in our home for so long. And he really just helped to center us. He really helped us to really develop that in our home. Growing up, I mean, he was always said our prayer at family dinner, and he was really wonderful. So that was one of the things that was so important to us, is just have the family around us that we could, that we have a pretty limited family, but those that we could have around us, just really embrace them. And we really looked a lot, especially when the kids were younger, but now that they're older, differently, but still the same. And that our church community, I mean, they carried us through those young years of babies and toddlers, and those just real hard years. Wonderful too. They were wonderful years, but they're hard. Every stage of parenting is hard. It is.
Yes.
It's just different hard every stage you're in. So I'd say that would be an additional is just we really leaned into our church families. And they've really helped us get through some of those transitional years for us.
It's that community makes such a difference, and it's really always depending on every family's circumstances is different, but when you do have these opportunities to have this, a amazing grandfather, grandmother just in the same home and impacting your kids in such a positive way, that's like a huge blessing. And your kids will always kind of have those good memories. And also the insights and the knowledge imparted as well.
Yes. Yes. We all have stories that, he shared with us. We're very thankful for that. And like you said, not every family has that. And, we all have different circumstances, but it was a gift for us, for our family.
Yeah. And so, how would you encourage women as they parent their children?
Yeah. Well, like you said earlier, just give yourself a lot of grace. Give yourself a lot of grace. Give your kids a lot of grace. And a lot of the things that you feel like are really important right now, you may look at later down the road and realize, that wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
The brand of diapers I go with or whatever, whatever the latest trend is. For our last baby, who's 10 now, and he was the fourth. So I was like, I really just want to do something fun and trendy and different with him. So we did cloth diapers with him. And we lasted maybe 6 months, maybe. That's it. That's for the verse. But, there's a lot of things that are just fun, and I kind of jest, but there's so many things. We put so much pressure on ourselves, and the culture tells us so much of what motherhood should be that
I know.
That it just give yourself a lot of grace.
I think that's so key.
Yeah. And really read to your kids. Spend some time. Just snuggle up on the couch. Read good books. We have so many great memories of. We can list all of our favorite titles when they were younger, and we have such happy memories of enjoying books together.
Yeah.
And then, obviously I think you just look for people around you who are helping, that can come alongside you and help instill good things into your kids. Because really parenting's hard, and we're really not supposed to do it alone. We're supposed to have people come alongside us, and we're supposed to have, because we're not the master of everything.
Exactly.
And all you have to do is have a teenager to tell you that. It's just,
oh man, I don't know.
I tell my teenagers all the time, anytime you want to be humble, just go spend some time with the teenager, and they'll do it for you. But
that's hilarious.
Yeah, just, I just find really good. I just think I'm so thankful that CEM came out when it did, and for such a time as this. I think our kids need it. I wish I had this from my olders. My two that are just about, my oldest and my next that are just about past this program. But programs like this that are just phenomenal resources that'll really help teach our kids the lessons that are so important for them to learn, that we want our kids to know before they leave our home.
Yeah, for sure. So what age group does the CEM go up to, or what's the minimum, maximum age?
Yeah, so I have entrepreneurs from 5 to 17. So they're pretty wonderful.
17?
17 years old.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So those 5-year-olds, let me tell you, they clean up. they do pretty well at the markets. They're pretty darling.
Okay. I need to get my little one in this one.
Yeah, I bet she'd love it. But all the kids, anywhere from 5 to 17 is our age group.
Yeah. Okay. And going back to giving yourself grace. I love that encouragement that we have, and not relying only on ourselves. We can't do it all. I think there's some kind of misconception out there where women are supposed to do it all, but we aren't. And we can't. We need people around us. And so love that too. So, you mentioned the Oklahoma City markets are going to be starting soon.
Yes.
And you have about 8 per year this year and
Yeah.
more next year.
Yeah.
But where can we find more information about the children's entrepreneur markets?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can find us on children'sentrepreneurmarket.com. We're also on Facebook, Instagram as well. So you can look us up. The best place to always go is the website, but we're very active on social media as well.
Okay. Sounds great. And yeah, I mean, it's funny because I feel like a lot of kids are getting more into this entrepreneurial spirit and business ownership. And so I love it. I'm so glad that you took the time today, Rachel, to talk about the children's entrepreneur market and how, parents who have 5 to 17-year-olds can look up and see if they can get involved in these and have their kids learn some valuable lessons along the way.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for having me on. This has been a treat.
Thank you so much, Rachel. It's been a pleasure. And I hope that everyone will be able to spark hope wherever they are and learn how to not rely on ourselves. We need each other. So together we can spark hope even more. And so thank you so much for listening. Hope you have a wonderful week. Catch you all next time. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Medicine, Motherhood, Missions. We hope you found inspiration, insight, and a sense of connection in the stories we shared today. If you've enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners like you. Follow us on Instagram for updates, free downloads, and to join a community of like-minded individuals passionate about making a difference through medicine, motherhood, and mission work. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Until next time, keep sparking hope, keep healing, keep nurturing, and keep making a difference. This is Johanna signing off from Medicine, Motherhood, Missions. The medical opinions expressed on this podcast are for the informational purposes only and should not be considered as medical advice. Always consult a licensed healthcare provider for personal medical questions or concerns. The views expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the podcast host.